This video is sponsored by sportscases.com. Check out our latest custom designs. Use promo code JVille at checkout for 10% off your order. Link in description.
What's up, everybody? JVille Sports here with my sports picks video, college basketball edition. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. It is Saturday morning, January the 19th. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me today and each and every time I put out a video. You guys are awesome. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I mentioned this is college basketball, so let's go ahead and get into college basketball. So our record is at the top of the screen, our overall record. So the top number is what I've given out so far here on the YouTube channel exclusively. And we are 9-2 with 82%. So can't complain about that. Doing really well. We missed our last bet, our last time out. We had Buffalo minus 13. They did not cover the spread. Of course, they ended up winning the game. So 82%, you know, we'll take it. We'll still try to improve on that, get back to 90%. Hopefully starting today. Our overall season record, we're at 92-66. That's 58%. I'm very happy with our college basketball season to date. I think we're right where we want to be, and there is a lot of value going forward here. I love January. I love February. Heading into March Madness, you start to see what teams are going to be for real, which teams might make some noise in the tournament. So this is a great time as football's winding down to start paying attention to those potential bracket buster teams and those Cinderella teams and all that good stuff. So anyways, having a great college basketball season. Like I said, overall records at the top of the screen. We're having a great season. And as you can see, there's a big discrepancy with our YouTube record and our season record. I give out a lot more plays, and you might be wondering where I give those plays out. And if you're new to the channel, I have a Patreon page where I post picks every single day. This is what it looks like. This is how to get there. Patreon.com/JVille Sports. You can just go to patreon.com, Patreon.com, and they have a search box at the top. Just type in JVille. You can check it out, and you can see all of my history of picks. Everything that I post on there stays on there. It's one of the reasons why I love the page. Everything becomes public the next day after I post them. So if you're interested in more than just the free plays I give out here on the YouTube channel, definitely check out my Patreon page, because that's where you'll find all my plays. I do college basketball, NBA, hockey, and of course college football and the NFL, which are winding down, and then MLB, which will be starting up here pretty soon in a couple months. So always busy all year round. You'll find all that stuff on the Patreon page, and like I said, you can check it out now and just look at what I've done previously. But other than that, let's go ahead and move on to today. So today, it's obviously Saturday. Huge college basketball card. I see a lot of great picks out there. I'm going to do a lot of different things over on Patreon, but I wanted to give out one moneyline parlay and one straight bet. A lot of you guys like the moneyline parlays. A lot of you guys can't play moneyline parlays and like the straight bets. So the best of both worlds I'll give out one of each. And there are those of you that, of course, that love them both, and so you'll be very happy that I'm giving both out, of course, if they're both winners. So we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and go right into it. I'm doing this Saturday morning, so games are about to kick off here in a couple hours. I didn't mess with any of the early games, so this video should be out in plenty of time for those games that I did pick. So we'll start with the moneyline parlay. Throw it up on the screen here. So this will pay over 1.5 times your bet. Of course, odds differ between where you place your bets. But for me, it was plus 155. I already put this one in. So we'll go ahead and run through it. It's a 6-team moneyline parlay, starting with Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, I like this spot for them right here because they are coming off a bad loss. They lost to Florida International. They were up by double digits for most of that game, and some way, somehow, they ended up losing. I actually like them to cover the 11-point spread, and they ended up losing outright at home to, like I said, bad Florida International team. That is now 3 straight losses. Their previous 2 losses were against very good opponents, Old Dominion and Marshall, 2 of the better teams in the Conference USA, but then they lost to a bottom feeder FIU team. So I love them here to bounce back at home. Florida International got off to a hot start. They were looking really good. They still have a decent record, 11-7, but they're only 2-3 in the in the conference, and they're only going to go down from here like they've been doing the last few games. They're not very good. They suffered some injuries as well, which is contributing to their losses. So Western Kentucky, like I said, they should be ultra motivated here. They're at home. Cannot see them losing this game. North Texas, one of the best teams, staying in. Let me pull them up here. So they're playing one of the worst teams in all of college basketball in Rice. Again, we're staying in Conference USA. North Texas is one of the favorites to win the conference. Rice is coming off 2 straight losses, their latest to UTEP. UTEP's middle of the pack type of team. But North Texas, like I said, they're one of the favorites to win. They're coming off a loss, which I like. They play UTSA. UTSA, if you look at them, really, really bad record, but they have underachieved this year. They're actually a really, really solid team. So no shame in North Texas losing to UTSA, and I think they'll take out their frustrations here on Rice. This game should not be close at all. It's a 12.5 point spread. I think North Texas covers that spread. Very good game here in the SEC between South Carolina and LSU. Both teams are undefeated in the SEC. South Carolina has really surprised me. They have played really, really well of late. They have a good coach from Frank Martin, but I think their undefeated streak ends here. LSU is a great team. One of the best teams that aren't ranked. I think they'll be ranked here after they compile a couple more wins. But yeah, they're one of the favorites to win the SEC, along with Kentucky and a few other teams. But LSU, solid. Love them here at home. Marshall, another team that flies under the radar. Not a lot of people know about Marshall. Again, staying in the Conference USA. This is a conference that I followed a lot so far this year. Marshall, very, very good. They haven't lost yet in the conference. FIU, like I said, they're coming off an upset win, and I don't think they make it 2 in a row here. So Marshall should roll against FIU. Seton Hall, this is another good game against DePaul. These two teams usually play each other tough, so despite that, I'm still going to take Seton Hall here. They're the better team. They're at home. They are coming off a pair of losses to Marquette and Providence, 2 very, very good teams, so no shame in losing those games, and they were both on the road. So now they come back home, and I like them to get the W here against DePaul. And last but not least, Murray State, the only road team I'm taking, and the reason being is because they're playing SIU Edwardsville. This team is garbage. Murray State, very, very good team. They are undefeated so far in the OVC. I don't see that changing here. I love Murray State to whoop up on SIU Edwardsville. So this six-team moneyline parlay, like I said, plays plus 155, so 100 will pay 155. So pretty good odds there. And we will wrap up the video with Louisville. This is one of my favorite straight bets of the day. Like I said, it's a bet I'm going to be taking myself. Georgia Tech, 2-2 in the ACC. Georgia Tech actually has some pretty good wins. They lost most recently to Clemson. It was on the road, and they stayed pretty close. But a very, very nice win against Syracuse before that. And then they lost a very, very close one to a very, very good Virginia Tech team. So this is a team that plays very, very hard. But I like Louisville here in this spot. One of the reasons being is Georgia Tech, they are without their leading scorer and their third leading scorer, I believe. And they're not going to have enough here to beat Louisville. The line's 4.5. It started at 3.5, and it's already moved up to 4.5. I actually took it at 3.5 last night, but I still like it at 4.5. I think Louisville, they're a solid team. They're another team that surprised me this year. A lot of turmoil in the offseason with all the investigations and all that nonsense, but they are coming off 2 very, very good wins against North Carolina. But they didn't have a letdown after that North Carolina win, which was on the road. They went back at home and beat a solid BC team. They're dealing with some injuries as well. So Louisville's taking advantage of some teams dealing with some injuries, and I think they do it again here against Georgia Tech on the road. Again, these are 2 teams that both were healthy, wouldn't be separated by too much, but with the injuries to Georgia Tech, and I just love the way Louisville's playing right now. They have a great coach as well. I love Louisville in this spot, so I'm going to take Louisville minus 4.5. So hopefully we go 2-0 with the parlay and straight bets and get back on track and go for 11-2 here on the YouTube channel, which would just be absolutely amazing. I'm going to give these plays over on Patreon, along with at least 3 or 4 additional straight bets and probably another moneyline parlay. So much out there today, NBA and hockey as well. I'll be posting some picks for those as well. So if you're interested in all those plays, you'll find them over on Patreon. If you have any questions about the Patreon page, all my social media pages and emails are right below, and I'll also post a link to Patreon in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I can get this up very, very quickly. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend planned. Hopefully you guys have a 3-day weekend. So a lot of great things happening, a lot of sports to watch, but enjoy your guys' weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and good luck. Thank you.